today we are here with the award-winning MC Barber.
Hey everyone, this is MC. In this video I really have exciting haircut for you. I have some really nice techniques. Again here I have a makeover, long hair. I'm going to be doing a different scissor technique. In the previous video, the gentleman with a huge beard, I did the backhand cutting. This time I'm going to be doing scissor over knuckles. Again, I'm starting from the back, quick on the neckline. This gentleman wanted his neckline to kind of stay long, but the way his hair grows in the back, you have to kind of bring it shorter, otherwise it won't look good. You really have to examine the shape of the hair, the texture of the hair, the shape of hairline, neckline, and then go from there. But in general, you have to examine the whole, the head shape, the hair texture, and so on and so forth, and see if you can deliver what the client is actually asking for. So here I started from the center back, from about occipital bone. I take about ½ inch sections, and I go, towards my right side first. And then I will go back and I will do the same thing to my left side. Here this is a little bit tricky for most of you because I do my both hands now. To keep my shoulder down, I switch to my left hand cutting. So now instead of using my right hand, in which case I would either have to cut palm to palm, or I would have to keep my shoulder high and I would have to go backwards. I just switch to my left hand. So this is one of the benefits that you get when you actually train your left hand to do what your right hand does. So once I'm done with this, I'm gonna go now with clippers, and I'm going to taper the back. Now here is a slightly different way of tapering the back, not my usual way, the way I usually show it to you, with 1.5. I could go with 1.5 as usually, but the texture of the hair actually makes huge difference. As you can see, his hair is quite wavy. It's kind of like just the way it is. It's to get really nice blend. I like to go here with the longest number, which is 8 or 1 inch, and then I'm gonna start switching them down to 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.5. This is like a safe way to fade from very long to kind of short, but not too short. Especially depends on the texture of the hair. You see how his hair kind of curls in the neckline. So if I did my classical technique, most likely I would pull it off and use some scissor work, but that would be really, you have to be precise and skillful to do that. This is just an easy and fast way and very efficient way to do this. So you can get like almost taper back that blends very nice into a long top. And one way that you can do it, an easy way that you can do it, is with clippers going from the highest number going to the lowest number. And now I'm using here 1.5. Now I like to say something regarding these long haircuts. I've seen so many videos on YouTube, different companies, especially bigger companies, the way they do these haircuts. Honestly, me being in industry for about 17 years now and really learning from some of the best, honestly, my instructors are from Paul Mitchell Global Educators to the US champions from 70s and world champions from 80s in men's hairstyling. But when I watch some of these videos, how they do these haircuts, especially the long haircuts, and the steps they make and the steps they take to do simple haircuts, pretty much like this. If you ask me to repeat exactly the same steps, I really wouldn't be able to. Just this angle, this section, that section. I mean, it's simple. I mean, as you can see, the result of this haircut will come out very well. It will come out very nice, and it's very simple. I mean, I did scissor over knuckles at 90 degrees all around. Then with the clipper, as you can see, I tapered it, make a line, and really, I mean, there is nothing to it. It's very simple. I don't know why does it have to be so complicated. Uh, but anyway, this is the way I do it, honestly. Since I have 20 minutes for a haircut, I try to make my haircuts as simple and as easy as possible. I don't like to make them fancy and complicated, and I honestly believe they come out with high quality. So now that I am done with my clipper work, I wet the hair down. Since I want to use the razor, I always use the razor on the wet hair. And I kind of now connect the scissor work to my clipper work. Basically, this is a sculpting technique. You kind of sculpt the hair. The name of the technique really explains everything. It's basically sculpting. And remove the weight as well. Razor is really, I mean, I like all the tools, but razor is almost my favorite tool to use. I mean, just especially if the hair is thick, you know, it just gives you that very nice texture and, you know, blend. This gentleman has extremely thick hair, which is very nice. And I'm going to cut the top also with a razor. It's actually slightly wavy. So again, I want to make sure the hair is very, very wet. If you cut the hair with a razor and the hair is dry, it will really rip the hair. You want to make sure you get a nice slice, nice cut. So you want to have the hair wet, and you want to make sure that the razor is sharp. So I like to say that when it comes to cutting with a razor, how often do you change your razor? Depends on how much you're cutting, but I wouldn't be able to do more than 3 of these haircuts with a high quality razor, because they just get dull and then you have to simply replace them. So I probably do about 3 of these haircuts with this blade and remove the blade, and you know, obviously the razors like this, the blades like this, I don't use on the skin. And if I was to use them on the skin, sometimes when I do use them on the skin, like on the neckline or bangs, I make sure I put a fresh blade for a client. Otherwise, if it doesn't touch the skin, you can use the blade obviously to more than one haircut, just like scissors. But if you are actually coming into contact with the client's skin, you should definitely change the blade on each client. And we do that actually. And honestly, I like to mention that with our shape up razors and shaving razors, it is not enough that you just change the blade. You honestly have to disinfect the razor holder as well. What is the point of changing the blade if you don't disinfect the razor holder? So I use about 3 different razor holders. I keep them in barber side, and I make sure they stay there at least 10 minutes. So if I use one razor on this gentleman, razor holder, I'll put it in the barber side and we'll stay there at least 10 minutes. But I'll use the one that was there already. I won't use the same razor holder on a client after client. You have to be very careful these days. It is very important. I mean, with all the things that are out there, you really want to, the safety of your client should be your priority. It really should be the priority. And unfortunately, I've seen barbers that not even they don't even change the blade, never mind disinfect the razor holder, which is really sad. I mean, and if I was a client, if I have clients that are watching, not actual barbers, I will say one thing to you. If you go to a barber and he does not change the blade in front of your eyes, don't let him use it. So it's very important. Now for the end here, I'm connecting my sides and top with a straight edge razor again, as I usually like to do. Basically now I'm sculpting. I believe this haircut is coming out pretty nice. It's pretty classic. You can see the back is tapered. The top is longer. Obviously, in some necklines, like on this one here, you can see it's very difficult to get that really nice smooth transition unless you go with a higher taper than this. But he wanted to keep this kind of longer neckline and more classic, more business look, so I had to keep it that long. But to kind of really get really good blend here, you would have to go a little higher on the tapering. Now blow drying obviously makes huge difference. You have to style that hair. I like using Moroccan oil for finish. I think it's a very nice product. Alright, thanks for watching. That's your finished look. Please don't forget to subscribe. mcbarber.com is my website. If you like my work, please put thumbs up. I really appreciate it. And thank you for subscribing. It really motivates me to do this more. Until next time, take care of yourself. MC is here.